What's going on, guys? My name is Fanizi Breezy, and today we are going to be taking a look at my retro video game collection for, I guess this would be considered 2016. So if you're unfamiliar with my channel and you just so happen to search for a retro game collection and came upon this video, welcome. I mainly do anime-related videos. I do unboxings and reviews and vlogs and all that jazz that comes with anime videos. But today I'm going to share my retro game collection with you all, since that is probably my second biggest hobby, and I wanted to share it with everyone. Another plus to doing a video like this is I get to look back in the future at what the state of the collection was like when I filmed this. So it's a good way to look back and see all the progress that was made. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and pan over the whole collection and, show all the games and whatnot, but I'm not going to go, in depth on each game in the collection since there is a lot, and I don't want to drag this video out too long since I know collection videos can get long because, you want to try and explain, all the little details and some of the really cool collectibles and whatnot, but I don't want to drag the video on too long. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Alright, so I'm pretty much just going to go from one side of the room to the other. I do want to apologize for the poor lighting. There's no natural light where the game collection is, so we're going to have to make do with what we've got. But the first thing I'm going to show is some cool posters I've got. So this first poster is a Mega Man 1 lenticular. So it's kind of hard to tell it's a lenticular, but trust me, it is. And then I have a Mario Kart 8 poster, which I'm pretty sure I got when I went to GameStop to buy Mario Kart 8. They must have had a lot left over from pre-orders and whatnot. And then your normal, NES pack-in poster. Alright, so let's take a look at the collection as a whole before we jump into it. It's a lot cleaner than it was from my previous video. A lot more organized. So if you have not seen my previous video and you have no idea what the collection used to look like, I will put a link in the description so you can see how sad and depressing it looked. But there's definitely a huge difference just alone with the shelving that I changed, not counting the added games, obviously. And then we have another Genesis pack-in poster with just advertisements for games that are going to be coming out. So starting on the right-hand side, we have some Activision Atari 2600 games, and I believe those are 8-track cassette case things, but they fit perfect for Atari games, so those are in there. And I have a little shelf here with some Game Boy games that were printed covers to fit in cassette cases, which are really nice. A see-through Game Boy Pocket. This is a lenticular Majora's Mask and a pink Game Boy Advance. One of my favorite pieces is this green Dreamcast here. Definitely something cool for collectors to have, and that's probably why it's right up front, because it's one of my favorites. And then I have the collector's editions for Majora's Mask 3D, the big box with Smash that came with the controller, and then I have some box N64 games back there. We have Glover, GoldenEye, Majora's Mask, Mario Party 1, I think that's Pilotwings 64, and back there's Pokemon Red. And right up front here is Rob the Robot, always a nice collector's piece to have. And here's a Big Daddy Bioshock figure. It's actually pretty big too, so here's my finger, as you can see, next to his leg. It's actually a pretty tall figure. And then Sonic is my favorite gaming franchise, so I've got a lot of Sonic memorabilia. I got this hat, 20th anniversary Dreamcast little collector's item, I think, that came with Sonic Adventure 2. And then back there I have the History of Sonic book with Sonic CD. And back in the way back there, there's little Sonic figures and this big Sonic figure. And I put some Mario stuff next to him to make him not feel so lonely. There's a Mario plush and the Rubik's Cube you got for pre-ordering Super Mario Maker. And then a giant Sonic plush. And back there is the book for Majora's Mask 3D. And the top are some amiibos, and these amiibos are just particularly the characters I use for Smash. I was not going to get, caught up in the amiibo craze and get all of them. I just wanted the ones that I play as, since those are my favorite characters, obviously. And they look really nice at the top there. And then finishing out the games on this wall for the top are my 360 games, which are just, relegated to the side over here because no one really wants to look at 360 games since it's past system. And then next to it I have the original Xbox games. Some good games here. Definitely a console I'm starting to enjoy finding games for. And then I have a Orange Spice GameCube controller. And then we have Yoshi's Woolly World. And this is I guess you could call it a collector's edition. It comes with a little amiibo. And then I have a lot of my Sega stuff over here. Back here I have an AV cable in the box, which is really cool. Still got a $15 price tag on it. And then I have the Model 2 in the box, along with this N64 in the box, which is cool. While I'm over here, here's my NES. And then in here I have a Model 2 Genesis Sega CD combo. Might be hard to see it in there, but it's in there. And then over here we have all of my Genesis titles. And I have a lot of the really must-have games, Battletoads, Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra, all the Sonic games, obviously. And then a lot of really good uncommon games. And it looks like Genesis is starting to go up in price a little bit, so if you're interested in becoming a Genesis collector, I would say hop on it now, before, for whatever reason, it blows up. And then here are some more boxed Genesis games. I just have them really in color-coordinated fashion. And then here's, this is a repro that I picked up at Too Many Games, so that's one of my favorites. Then down here I have a 32X box. There's a multi-tap for the Genesis in the box, and back there's the Dreamcast keyboard. And probably one of my favorite pieces, aside from that Dreamcast, is I have a JVC Xi that I picked up at the flea market recently. Unfortunately, the disk drive doesn't work, but I've been screwing around with it. And I'm gonna get it to work because the Genesis side works fine, and this is such a great piece to have that I hate to not be able to fix it. And then in these tubbies here are pretty much just all peripherals and whatnot, different types of controllers, and I think up here I might have some consoles. Yeah, I have a Super Nintendo and an Intellivision. And then rounding this wall off, I have an Atari, I think it's an 800? What's that say back there? Yeah, 800, which is a computer, but also has games for it. So that's pretty much this side. Then going to the left, I have a Mario Kart 8 flag, which is pretty cool to have hanging up, and a gun for the Dreamcast. And my N64 controllers. One of my favorite things to collect for is N64 controllers, and I'm missing a ton of them. So I would definitely enjoy to keep putting them up. All right, so instead of starting from the back, let's start from the front here, because it's definitely organized to go from left to right as opposed to right to left. So right at the top, we just have some 2600 games, and 2600 is another one of my favorite systems to collect for. It sounds like I keep saying that for every system, but the games are really fun, especially just to pop something in and screw around for half an hour. Have some friends over, have a couple of drinks. It's just a lot of fun just to mess around with. And coming up is Luigi. And then back here I have the 800 games I was talking about, along with 3 Vectrex games. I don't have a Vectrex, but I want a Vectrex, so when I get one, I have games to play for it at least. So coming back from the front, we've got some Super Nintendo games. I have a few of the must-haves, but I'm definitely missing a lot of the pricey ones, a lot of the RPGs, I don't have any of the Mega Man games. But, the games that you would want to play, just starting out for a Super Nintendo collection, I have, the Mario games and a lot of, Zelda and all the fun games, I guess you could say. And then below that, I have N64 games, and I have some stickers on them. I'd like to redo these stickers sometime in the future, because I only printed out the ones that I had at the time. And just to go to show you, I have a drawer over here, and I have more games in here as I drop something. And those are just games that I don't have labels for. So coming down over here are my 32X games. And now here's one collection that I do have a lot of the expensive games for. I've got Blackthorn, I've got Knuckles Chaotix. I have a lot of games for the 32X. And so I'm probably looking to finish the 32X, full set. So that would be fun to say that I finished a full set of a specific system. And there is the 32X, just so I can grab it if I want to play something. And then I have my, handheld games, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, DS, and 3DS games. A lot of these Game Boy Advance games, I printed out covers for and put them in DS cases with the little Game Boy spot on the top, because they look really nice like that. And then just some random PC games that I picked up along the way. I guess while we're over here, I can finish this side since this is really the last of the games on this side. Here's some Master System games. Looking forward to trying to find more Master System stuff. There really isn't a lot of it around. Then I have some boxed NES games and boxed Atari games, two Tengen games, and two normal NES games, including Ninja Gaiden, which is a good game to have in the box. So from there, I guess we can talk about NES games. I have a lot, yeah. Definitely, still in my opinion, the easiest system to find games for if you're looking for retro. There's a lot of really good games, and the good games are the ones that are, moderately priced. The ones that are really expensive, the level of enjoyment you're going to get out of them decreases as the price goes up, in my opinion. Except for games like Little Samson, which is supposed to be a really good game. But the really expensive ones are just uncommon, which is why they're expensive. And something that I really enjoy are collecting unlicensed games. So I'm working towards, every time I see an unlicensed game, I try and pick it up just because they're really cool. I mean, look at that. Not something you're going to find every day. And the last thing on this shelf is I have Shenmue 2 on the Dreamcast. And this is the European version. I picked this up, European version. I picked this up at the flea market for $20. So definitely something that I am truly happy to have. I wish I had the slipcover for it, but beggars can't be choosers. So, moving along, we have some CDI games that I picked up at the Goodwill of all places. When you find CDI games, even if you don't have a CDI, it's kind of hard not to pick them up. Then I have an Action Replay for the Saturn, along with my Saturn games. This is a collection that I wish I could afford to collect for, but it's just so pricey and really hard to find the games for. And if you really want them, you're going to have to look for them on eBay. But I do have some good games. I have D and Enemy Zero, which are a little pricey. And the same thing for the Sega CD. It's just stuff you don't really find. So moving along, we can take a look at the PS1. And I'd say PS1 is probably the closest to being complete for games that you should have, or the collectible games for the system. I think that this is probably the furthest along, in my opinion. If you are curious, I am filming this on my phone, so I am sorry if there's a hard glare that's hard to see through. So then below that, I have Dreamcast. Excuse me, I actually had a Dreamcast growing up. So a lot of these games I had, obviously the majority of them I didn't. Power Stone 2, I didn't have them. But a lot of these games I did have, and I do have fond memories of the Dreamcast. And then over there is my Master System. So coming down further, we have more modern stuff. Here's all of the GameCube games I have. And I'd say also, GameCube pretty close to being complete. Just missing a few of the stragglers. I don't have Pikmin, I don't have Eternal Darkness, but I do have a lot of the must-haves. And there's Myst for the PC. So coming down here, I have my Wii games. Not that much. I'm sure, as you know, Wii is not really a hardcore gamer console, so I just have pretty much the Mario titles and Smash Brothers. And then the Wii U, which is really making an impression with me, because the games on the Wii U are really good. And I think that in the future, the Wii U is going to be looked at as sort of how the N64 is. The first-party titles are just games that you want to play. I just beat Yoshi's Woolly World, and it was a really fun play. So if you're interested in looking for, a modern Nintendo console, I think that you would be really satisfied with the Wii U. So here's PS2. Games are dirt cheap for the PS2. So so if you find them, they're going to be cheap, and you're going to be able to get some good stuff. And as you can see, I definitely amassed quite a large amount of PS2 games. And then at the bottom here, I have a blue Game Gear. It's in a nice little Game Gear case. But that's a blue Game Gear, which is kind of cool to have. And then over there, I have two 360s. I don't really have the 360, so it's not hooked up. And then last but not least, under this little shelf thing, I have some more consoles and games and whatnot. In there is a Model 1 Genesis. Back there is a black GameCube. And then here is just handhelds and stuff. PSP, more Game Boys. And then here's more games. These are mostly just handheld games. And then that's pretty much it for the game collection. So I'll just give one last overview of it. So I'd like to thank you all so very much for watching this long collection video. You know, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you enjoy videos and you want to see more. And if this is the first video that you watched on my channel and that you enjoyed it for whatever reason, and you want to see more, probably anime videos more likely than anything, then please subscribe. If you want to know something, you know, in particular about my collection, you know, maybe where I got one thing or my thoughts on something else, you know, drop a comment down below. I get back to pretty much everybody that does comment because I just have, you know, all the time in the world to do that. But I do like to, you know, get a dialogue with all my viewers, and we can talk about things, and it makes for a more interactive experience that way. My name's Fineezy Breezy, and I'll see you all next time.